What's up guys, welcome to another episode. Every once in a while I get one of these e-bike manufacturers to send me an email and they offer me a free e-bike in exchange for a review. So before we actually take off on the road and I'm going to give you a road test review, first I want to tell you a little bit about some of the specs. It's got a 960 watt hub motor in the rear, and this motor provides 65 newton meters of torque. It's not a whole lot of torque, but here's the kicker. This bike only weighs 55.8 pounds. It's got to be aluminum because this thing is super light. Like, I've reviewed a ton of e-bikes and I haven't reviewed an e-bike that was 55 pounds of this caliber. So I really love the fact that this is so light. And with the 65 foot-pounds of torque, as well as the 960 watt hub motor in the rear, I think this thing can propel to 28 miles an hour. Not exactly sure how fast, but we'll find out. So that's one of its strong advantages, is that it doesn't weigh a whole lot. Now the cool thing about this bike is that it's got something called a torque sensor. I'm really not familiar with how a torque sensor works, but they say that the torque sensor pedal assist systems adjust the motor's power based on how hard you pedal, delivering smoother acceleration, better hill climbing, and a more intuitive ride. Features typically found on higher end e-bikes. Now this e-bike on their website is about $1,000 to $1,100. We'll see what happens when the tariffs kick in, but at the current moment, this thing is a bargain for $1,100 considering how light it is and how much feature packed it is. So I'm really curious to see how the torque sensor delivers power once we get on the road. And then finally, this 15 amp hour battery can be removed by inserting the key, twisting this, and then you can leave this inside the garage and then take the battery inside to charge it. But anyway, it's got a preload as well as a dampener in the front, so this is pretty cool right here. It also has hydraulic front and rear brakes, dual disc brakes in the front as well as in the rear, and you get this cargo rack in the back, which you can possibly put like a milk crate and then go shopping with it, which is pretty neat. So if you're familiar with e-bikes, then you already know this, but if not, you got two ways to take off. Number one, you can do pedal assist. So you really can't see the readout here because it's flickering on your screen, but it's got pedal assist number 1 through 5. So I'm going to put it in number 5 right now. But as soon as I pedal, it should start delivering power from the torque sensor. Let's go ahead and see how that works. Oh yeah, I'm starting to feel it already. A slight pedal, and this thing is delivering power, which is pretty cool. So let me see if I can dial it down to like pedal assist number 1 to see how sensitive the torque sensor is. Alright, so now we're in pedal assist number 1. And wow, check that out. This is pretty gradual. I was thinking that it would kind of be like an off and on mechanism, but it's really not. I've tested tons and tons of e-bikes on my William Shaker Tech channel. And I've tested a couple on this channel as well. And the torque sensors on some of the other e-bikes I've tested out weren't as efficient as this, because right now I'm pedaling like just slightly. It's not even a whole lot. And I can feel and I can also hear that it's giving me power. So if I bump it up to like pedal assist number 2, I can definitely feel the immediate power increase by giving me slightly more power. So from pedal assist number 1 all the way to pedal assist number 5, it seems to be pretty gradual. And once we get on the main roads, because right now we're on the park, I'll be able to go ahead and push it all the way up to 28 miles an hour. But at the current moment, this thing is a joy to ride. As far as the position of the handlebars, I think this is pretty good for like really tall guys and girls as well. My arms are open all the way. I don't have a bend in my arms. So presumably if you're a much taller person, you would kind of sit more back, and then you would have more arm length, so this way you wouldn't be sitting at in an aggressive position as I am. Because right now I'm kind of like in a sport bike position, but not really. But that's only because I'm about 5'6" tall, but this bike is good for people my height, all the way up to, I would say, 6 foot something tall. So for taller riders, of course, you can also increase the height of the seat down below. Unfortunately, you don't have height adjustability for the handlebars, so that's something you're gonna have to live with. But I think for taller riders as well as shorter riders, this is totally doable. So there's a bike lane over yonder, Let's see if we can go ahead and take it. There we go. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick it up to pedal assist number 5. And we're going to go all the way up to 7th gear. Shimano gears, as an FYI, all these bikes are pretty standard with Shimano gears. So I'm doing a comfortable 21 miles an hour. I'm not getting 28 like they claim. So HOVSCO does have an app, and just putting it out there, I downloaded the app. Yeah, I'm doing 21. It won't go more than this. Maybe it's electronically limited. So HOVSCO has an app, like I mentioned. I downloaded the app, and I tried to get it to connect using Bluetooth to the bike. Unfortunately, I was unsuccessful doing it. I think there's some kind of a bug within the HOVSCO app, but they say that you can unlock the additional speed using the app. So I wasn't able to unlock it because no matter what I tried, it wouldn't connect using USB. But that being said, I mean, quite honestly, how often are you going to go 28 miles an hour on an e-bike consistently? So for this demonstration, like, it's pretty much a joy to ride going up this slight hill using pedal assist number 5 as well as the torque sensor. It's a pretty fun bike to ride, actually. So great as a commuter, great as something you want to use maybe at a park, or maybe you want to go long distance somewhere. As far as how long the batteries are going to last you, that all depends. You know, like where I am right now, I live in SoCal. You got lots of hilly terrain, and if you're going to be riding on the street and you're going to be constantly pushing it 20 miles an hour plus, mileage will vary. So that all depends. Whenever I see mileage claims on a manufacturer's website or in their description, I always pass it off with a grain of salt. To me, it really doesn't matter what they say. Real world riding is where it really matters. But the good news is that a bike that has a torque sensor and only weighs 55 pounds, considering there are gargantuan e-bikes out there with similar battery capacities, about 15 amp hours, would weigh about 100 pounds. So because it doesn't weigh a whole lot, so I presume that the mileage will be a lot higher than other e-bikes in the same category. Now, one thing I will mention is that the right brake lever controls the rear, and unfortunately I think it's missing a little bit of pressure, or hasn't been bled properly, because I have to pump it like 5 or 6 times for it to work. But as far as the left hand brake, which controls the front tires, that works exceptionally well. I don't think they tested out the rear brakes. I think it needs to be bled properly, but that's only happened on one other e-bike that I've tested out in the past. But no big deal, it still works. Now, as you already know, it's got a 960 watt hub motor in the back, and when you're riding it, it doesn't make an annoying sound unlike other e-bikes, so it's relatively quiet. That's one thing I like about this bike, is that it's not very intrusive when it comes to sound. So the ideal customer for this bike is someone who's looking for an e-MTB or an electric mountain bike. Unfortunately, it is a hardtail, meaning that it doesn't have suspension in the rear, but as far as the front suspension, it does a perfect job, man. I'm really comfortable when I ride this bike, even on bumpy surfaces, which, let's see if I can find somewhere bumpy that we can ride in so we can test it out. But I've ridden this bike prior to the review just so I can see what it would be like, and I've put it through a little bit of a test, and it seems to be really comfortable. It's a nice commuter e-bike. So the second type of person that would enjoy this e-bike is someone who wants to use it for commuting purposes. If you keep it on pedal assist number 1 and you're riding like a normal person and not someone who just wants to speed everywhere, you want to do a comfortable 10-15 miles an hour wherever you need to get to in pedal assist number 1, I think you can get a lot of range on this bike. Like, as an example, if I had a day job and it was about a 10-mile trip going back and forth to work, there would be no reason for me to drive. I would use this bike to get back and forth to work. So for a person who wants to use it for commuting purposes, perfect for them as well. And then the third type of person that would probably enjoy this bike are people who just want like a first and last mile trip. You want to go on a grocery run, you want to put like a milk crate back there, and you're not shopping for a family of 4, but I don't know, you want to watch a movie and you forgot some popcorn last week when you went to the supermarket, so you want to grab some popcorn and maybe some salsa and maybe who knows what else, a bag of crisps and who knows what else. But yeah, this bike is perfect for stuff like that. First and last mile trips. Now you see this guy in front of me here, he's got the baskets. Presumably you can do exactly the same thing as what this guy is doing. You can put baskets back there because it's got the capability of doing it. And then after that, you can use it for stuff like what I just talked about. So yeah, so this guy's got the right idea. So we're at a college campus right now and everybody's on a bike, on a scooter, or some kind of mobility device. And the fourth type of person that would enjoy this bike are students. Like, if you're a student, like these guys here, and you live in the area, and you don't have a car because cars are damn expensive and not worth it if you're a student, you got way too many other things to think about, having an e-bike like this is probably your best option. You buy it for about $1,000, you charge it up once or twice a week, and you're good to go. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent bike, and I think it has great utility for all types of riders. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're looking for a great e-bike to ride around town and or for leisure activities, you know, like you just want to like ride somewhere because you want to decompress and you want to get away from work and you want to get away from everything and you just want to like ride and enjoy the nice weather. You know, this is one of those bikes that you can do it in. It's not just for utility purposes, because I know I talked a lot about utility, but doesn't necessarily have to be that. It's a joy to ride nonetheless, simply because it's effortless riding. Like, currently I'm just riding it and I don't even feel tired at all. The torque sensor does a wonderful job of doing what it says it's supposed to do, which is to kind of carry you along effortlessly without issue. This guy's got another one. See, he's a student, he's got a bike like this, he knows what's up, and he's got a basket back there, and so he's got the right idea. See, this bike is perfect for students as well, except his is not a HOVSCO, it's another brand, but yeah, you get me. There's another guy right there. Everybody's got one of these e-bikes. These e-bikes are the best, man. Hopefully the tariffs don't kill the business, because all these bikes are from China. We'll see about that, what happens next. There's another guy with a scooter. So I started out with 4 bars, and now I have 3 bars, and we did a total of about 11 miles, but I'm also on pedal assist number 5, and we've been riding it at around 20-21 miles an hour up and down hills, so very understandable. Brakes work wonderful, except for the rear, because as I mentioned before, it needs to be bled, so if I pump it a couple times it starts working better, but the front, really amazing stopping power. I was going to give this bike a solid 9.5, but because of the rear brakes, I'm going to drop it down 1 notch. So 8.5 for now until we pull over, and then I'll give it a final assessment. Going up a hill right now, doing pedal assist 5, 14, 15 miles an hour, 16 miles an hour, 17 miles an hour. Not an issue at all for this bike, 18 miles an hour. Yeah, so if you live in a hilly area like I do, no problem. Alright, here we are. We're in front of Whole Foods. I'm not going to exactly leave the bike here and take off because it's got to be bolted down. Someone is definitely going to steal it if I leave it here, but just wanted to give you my final analysis before I take off. But overall, this is a superb bike. I'm not exactly sure if there are any coupons available at the time, but if there are, they will be down in the description below, along with a link for the website where you can purchase it. Solid bike. I would give it an 8.5. I would have given a 9.5. Unfortunately, the rear brakes weren't bled properly, but just removing a star just because of that. So 8.5 stars for me, and I think this bike deserves your money. Go check it out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.